I'd like to introduce Grouse and Pamela Barnes from Westbank. They are going to speak to us about the Syilx Nation.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pamela Barnes. My ancestral name is Chuchuasket, which means the coming of a storm or the coming of change. It's not gentle breeze. And it's my honor today to welcome you to our traditional territory. I want to thank you for the land acknowledgement and take a moment to explain the difference between a land acknowledgement and being welcomed to our traditional territory, because both are very important protocols, but they're different. So a land acknowledgement is like being invited to your neighbor's home for dinner. There's an expectation that you recognize your host and thank your host. And it's the responsibility of the guest. We're often asked to come and do land acknowledgements. It's kind of awkward. But I think the challenge in it comes from not fully understanding what a land acknowledgement really is, because history hasn't been told in truth. And so the reality is that nothing has ever taken place in the last 200 years to change the fact that this is our homeland, which we have cared for and continue to have responsibilities and jurisdiction. Just because somebody steps in and says, it's mine, doesn't make it so. And so those formal steps have never taken place. It doesn't mean that this relationship won't change at some point, but at this particular point, we are the hosts, and all others living on these lands are guests. In welcoming you to our traditional territory, it's important that first, it's a Syilx person welcoming you to our traditional territory. You know, if the President of the United States were visiting Canada, we would expect the President to recognize Canada as the host and thank Canada. However, if the President went on to welcome others to Canada, we would all recognize that as an overstep. It's the same in our lands. I want you first to understand that being welcome to our traditional territory is not a casual thing. I want you to understand what our lands mean to us. Our lands are made up of the blood and the bones of our ancestors for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. It is all sacred to us, not just one spot here and another spot over there, but all of it. And when we're out on the land, we're mindful of that. And we have that reverence that you might have in a cemetery. In our teachings, we're reminded that any one of us is only here but a moment in time. And we see our relationship to the land, to the water, to all of the life that it sustains, more like borrowing from future generations. And that's a very different idea than the one that has come in the last 200 years to these lands, that focuses on human ownership of land. And I use this necklace to help us understand the profound difference between those two worldviews. If I own this necklace, I can sell it, trade it, give it away. It's mine. I can do what I want. I can take really good care of it, or I can just toss it aside. It's mine. I can do what I want. But the moment that I borrow this, everything about that relationship changes. I can't sell it. I can't trade it. I can't give it away. It's not mine to do that with. And even more importantly, there's an expectation that I take the very best care that I possibly can. And that when I leave it or return it, it's at least in the same condition I found it, or if possible, better. It's with this understanding of our responsibility to these lands, to these waters, and to all the life that it sustains, that we first welcomed others to our traditional territory about 200 years ago, even though they were not invited. And it's with this understanding of our continuing responsibility to the land, to the water, to all of the life it sustains, and to all future generations, that I welcome you today to the traditional, unceded, and currently occupied territory of the Syilx people. With the reminder that none of us, including ourselves as Syilx people, we are not doing the best job that we can to care for the land, the water, all of the life it sustains, for all of our children, for all of our grandchildren, for all of our great-grandchildren, some of which we will share. We will be at some of the same weddings, baby showers, graduations. When are we going to figure out the human relationship on these lands? And when are we going to figure out our human relationship with the rest, the land, the water, and all other life? It's my hope that we get on with it sooner rather than later. Lim lim.
Good afternoon. How are you guys doing? Oh, that's good to see. Good to hear. My name is Wilfred Barnes. My nickname is Grouse. My ancestral name is Kaninam Timtan Kwaitsen. Oh, that long. My dad had a sense of humor, and it literally means bumped by sister-in-law. And there's that story behind that. You know, wherever I go, I try to promote laughter. You know, laughter is medicine. You know, when you can laugh at yourself, you're on a healing journey. And if you can't laugh at yourself, give me a call and I'll laugh at you. I'd like you guys to stand. I'm going to say a little prayer before we get started here. Wailen nam kuln tutten kanwis, talikastis behoest kanalatis nialkin. Gaat skol kweltum stamapenas geld, tali gaga kel yukuyayat. Putiku alain sa nathis naksil, putiku tshui kel smakmak, ukaus tikumtis yayatstim, espikal, ukaus witsum, ukaus bakkolum, ukaw spekam, puti kuala na insa natis naksilo. Dali kaka ikitam hulakrit, nikwiki siur, dali kaka kalmanimstit. Yayat stimat haha stim nikwaka. Imnam kulanchut, maiko chikitskala, lutswit kshanum chut, ne koyu lutswit kshanum. Ekis kanchut. Thank you. Thank you, Creator, for allowing me to be here this afternoon. You know, the things we're going to be talking about this afternoon is so important, not to us, but to every one of us, to our future grandbabies, our future lineage. What we do about it today is going to impact 7 generations down the road. So let's do something about this. I was talking to my friend here the other day, a little while ago, and I see a bunch of white hair. You know, we got to get our kids and our nephews involved in this. You know, this is our future. This is who we are. Timber, trees, water, so important to everybody. So my people are still here. We still go fishing. We still go hunting, gather roots and berries. We're still here. In 2024, we weren't supposed to be even talked about. It was supposed to be history. But we're still here, and we're not going anywhere. Let's work together and make our future brighter for our kids, our grandbabies. Not only for us, but for everybody. You guys can sit down. I'm going to give you a quick language lesson. First one is, what's the Okanagan Lake famous for? Twist, hurry up. Pogo Pogo is his or her nickname. The real name, I want you to give her a shot. If you don't say it, I'm going to point you out. Nakakaitik. Okay, listen. Nakakaitik. First part of that word is chacha, which is sacred. Second part of that word is itk, which is water. Sacred being of the water. You know, that's how we look at it as Syilx people. That's how we look at life. Ogopogo came to be in 1924 through the Kelowna Board of Trade. And my interpretation of Ogopogo is come, spend your money. You know, it's springtime, there's going to be a sighting pretty soon. Gear up for tourist season. One more. A simple word for water. Simple word for water. Syilx. Try that. Syilx. That's a little better. Not much, but it's better. Again, first part of that word is Syilx. Human Syilx out of the cup of your hand or from a glass. Second part of that word, Syilx, is the sound animals make when they lap the water. So it's humans and animals together, not one more important than the other. And that's how we look at life. You know, we're inclusive. You know, just because we're mammal, we think we try to think that we're better than the animals. We're not. The animals can live on this planet without us, but we can't live without them. Pretty deep thinking. Okay, let's get on with what we're going to do. Limlim.